Hello, hola. So hopefully I'm live now. Just give me 1 second just to have a look. Yeah, I think I'm live. So thank you very much, first of all, to Sensei for the invitation to participate in the group. I'm really delighted to get involved, and I think it's fantastic that we can train together as karateka, even though we're on opposite sides of the world. I think that's fantastic. So again, thank you to Yaram Sensei for setting up this initiative and inviting me to be part of it. I'm not going to do anything hugely complex or complicated today. It's going to be fairly basic, fairly fundamental, but we'll look at a couple of different ideas and look at a couple of different ways of moving, and then kind of piece together a couple of techniques to see how they fit. So I hope you enjoy what I'm going to do, and whether you're watching live or you're watching later, I hope you get something out of it. Okay, so let's go. So I'm going to start off just with the upper body first. So we start with the upper body, then we move to the legs, and then we kind of put it together with our hips. So just to start off with our upper body, our chest, just nice and relaxed. So kind of squeeze and then expand. Squeeze and then expand. Squeeze and expand. Squeeze and expand. So when I'm squeezing my chest, it's not just my arms. Okay, I'm also squeezing into my chest, so I'm stretching my back. And then I stretch my chest and I contract my back. Okay, so across my body, I'm squeezing and then expanding. Okay, so squeeze my shoulders, just squeezing in a little bit and then expanding. Okay, squeezing and then expanding. Boom. Okay, just using your elbows going out. Boom. Okay, so squeezing and expanding. So I'm feeling my back working as well. Okay, so it's important that I'm feeling my back working. Okay, and then just as I'm going nice and relaxed, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to strike out with my elbows. I'll expand my chest. Again, 1, 2, 3, squeeze it and expand. 1, 2, 3, squeeze 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 and expand. 1, 2, 3, squeeze, expand. One more. 1, 2, 3, squeeze and expand. And relax. So in karate, we talk a lot about balance. So balance between your left side and your right side. Balance between your upper body and your lower body. Balance between your internal and your external. But you also must balance between your front and your back. Okay? So here, I'm squeezing my chest, my back is stretching. Then I squeeze my back, my chest expands. And it's that expansion is giving me the power into the technique. So it's not just my arm going out, it's my back having stretched. Now it contracts, that allows my chest to expand, and that's the power. Okay? So we try another few. So keeping it relaxed, keeping the movement relaxed, and then when you want to apply, okay, just from the stretch of your back, squeeze your back, expand your chest. Okay, just another few, same idea. So 1, nice and relaxed. 2, 3, squeeze and expand. 1, 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 2, 3, squeeze and expand. So remember, not just your arms, your chest. Okay, so now we'll add a technique to it. Okay, so we'll go sotuki to the front and then expand. Okay, elbow strike, NPG to the side, but same feeling. Okay, so from here, your basic sotuki. So I'm not sure if I'm in reverse or not. So for the record, this is my right side, this is my left side. So I don't know if I'm flipped in the camera. If I am, okay, just try to follow. So my right side is coming up. Okay, sotuki preparation position. Okay, from here, just relax. I'm going to block 1, Then I'm going to squeeze my chest, and expand to the side, 2. And change, opposite side. Sotuki, 1, then just a little squeeze my chest, and expand my chest, and I contract my back, 2. And change. So 1, 2. Nice and relax, and change. 1, 2. And change. 1, 2. And change. 1, 2. And change. So if you want the preparation position, the kind of textbook position, is your fist should be about a fist width from your head. Or if you extend your fingers, you should be able to just about touch your head here. Okay, so that's the kind of textbook position. Not up too high, okay, not down here. Okay, just about horizontal, okay, and then that fist width or finger touch distance. So again, 1, 2, and change. 1, 2, and change. 1, 2, and change. 1, 2, 4, and change. And relax. So yeah, of course there's variations. You see some people going a little bit higher, okay, this kind of kama, okay. If you're doing more freestyle, it can be smaller kama, smaller preparation, but for now we'll just keep it kind of textbook simple, okay. So stay here. Speeding it up, okay, a little bit faster. So now 1 count, sotuki, empty. Okay, but make sure between the sotuki and the empty, it's not just your arm. Okay, not just your arm, yes, your arm, but also that squeeze and expand. Okay, that squeeze and expand between the 2 techniques. So the connection is to squeeze and expand between the block and the strike. Okay, so let's try. Right hand up. This is still my right hand. Okay, so sotuki, empty. Hey. On opposite side. Hey. Opposite. Sama. Change. Three. Change. Oh. Change. Oh. Change. Three. Change. Ha. Change. Who. Change. You. And relax. Okay, again, ki at will. Try not to disturb the neighbours depending on where you are. How are we doing? Okay, so next, same technique, just watch out for your breathing in between, okay? So try not to hold your breath from the technique. So when you're doing combinations, if you want them to flow, you can't hold your breath. So it can't be, and then at the end go, and leave out your breath. Okay, so it's not, and then breathe out. That means you weren't breathing during the techniques. If you're not breathing during the techniques, it's really difficult to flow in your combinations. You'll get 1 and 1 and 1, but not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So we'll just do another few, do maybe 3 more on each side. But really make sure at the end of the technique, you're breathing out. It's not contracted and then out. You should be breathing out during the execution of the technique. So we just do 3 more each side. Same thing. So to keep empty. But really pay attention to the connection between the 2 techniques, the contraction and expansion, and then also the breath between the 2 techniques. Okay, so again, right hand up, left hand in front. Hey. Hey. I'm pushing my air out on that. And change. Hey. Again, pushing my air out. That's up. Pushing my air out. She. Again. Oh. Last one. Roll. And just relax through the arms. Okay. And take a drink, take a break, do whatever you need to. Okay. So next, same techniques. So to the end. So the upper body. Now it's time to add in a little bit of stance. So I'm going to do it side on. So right here. Okay. So from Zen Kutsadachi, again I'm going to prepare for my Sotuki. Okay, so my basic preparation kama for Sotuki. Okay. From here, Sotuki, 1, Zen Kutsadachi. So I'm going to hand I'm loading my ankle, my knee and my hip in that position. So then I do the same little squeeze here, squeezing, and I release here. Until I impute position. Okay, so I'm getting power from two different places. Upper body, I'm still getting the squeeze and expand. And then lower body, the transition between my Zenko Tadachi, my handi, so pressure on my ankle, my knee, my hip, and releasing that into my Kibadachi. So I don't have to come back and in. There's no need because the power is already here. So I just release it and then I transfer it through that expansion of my upper body. So let's try that just slowly a couple of times and then we'll add in a little bit more speed and power. So from Sotogi Kai, the itch, and then release, squeeze and expand, knee, and back. Hit, squeeze and release. And again, back, one, squeeze and release. Okay, let me try opposite side. Again, just slowly. So to come out. One, pressure on my ankle, my knee, my hip. Then as I release that, I also squeeze and expand into my upper body technique. And back, knee, and back, side, and back. Okay, opposite side again. So I'm putting my left leg in front. So now just adding a little bit of power, a little bit of speed to the technique. Again, the connection between the two techniques is going to be through your breathing and your contraction and your expansion. So keep those two things. Okay. So from the Sotogi. Again, we're going to start here, nice and basic. So you're already in the preparation position for the Sotogi. Okay, ready? One, hit, knee, and back. That's up, chin, and back. Oh, roll, and back. Feet, ha, and back. Go, do, and relax. And the opposite side. Again, preparation position. Hit, knee, and back. Hand, chin, and back. Up, roll, and back. Sit, ha, and back. Do, and relax. And again, take a break, take a drink. Okay, so we went from Zenko to Kibadachi. Okay, so we went from Zenko Tadachi into Kibadachi. Now we'll go from Kibadachi into Zenko Tadachi, or Kibadachi into Gyakuzuki. Okay? So from here, I'm not going to go into Zenko Tadachi just yet, but I am going to punch. So from this position, I'm going to get power three different ways. I'm going to push off my foot, and I'm going to drop my weight down, and I'm going to get timing between my hip and my torso and my shoulder. So from here, I'm going to push, drop, and timing this way. So I'm not moving my front foot. Okay, I'm not going this way, and I'm not going out to the side. I'm keeping it quite tight from here, okay, and just going in this way. Okay, so I'm pushing off my back foot, dropping my weight, and getting my hip down. Okay, so from here. Just try that, nice and relaxed. One, so really get that drop and back. Two, and back. So getting that drop. Okay, so you see a lot of people when they go from Kibadachi into Zenko Tadachi, they come up, they go this way. So I want to make sure I'm dropping down. And then you also see them losing the timing. They go 1, 2. So I want to make sure I don't do that. And you see a lot of people leaving this foot behind. So they go this way. Okay, and they don't get any drive off that leg. So I want to make sure those three things, okay, I'm addressing. So I'm going to push from here. So I'm going to exaggerate this position. I'm going to exaggerate the drop. And I'm going to really focus on getting that timing, okay, into the technique. So let's try that fast. Drop, push, and time. from Kiberachi. Yeah. And back. Just doing 5. And back. San. And back. Shin. And back. Hop. And relax and change opposite side. So same, pushing, dropping, rotating, not really moving my front leg too much. Okay, again. Hey. And back. Hey. And back. Stop. And back. Chin. And back. Oh. And relax. And again, breathe. Okay. So, next, I'm going to go into more of a basic Zenko Tadachi, but I want to keep those elements, the push, okay, the timing, and the drop. So from here, from the Kiberachi, so we're working it up now, from here. The first one I'm going to do the practice version. So from here, I'm going to go 1, and then back. And then the second one, I'm going to drive into Zenko Tadachi, 2. Okay, so I'm trying to get the drive from here, the drop, okay, and the timing of my body. And back. So again, the practice, 1, and then the basic. Boom. And back. Again, practice, 1, 2. And again, practice, 1. Basic, 2. 2 more sets. 1. Practice. The basic, 2. 1 more. Practice. 1. And basic, 2. And relax. Take a breath. We'll try it on the opposite side. Okay, opposite side. So again, practice, then basic. So the practice one, you're coming up onto your heel, okay, you're not moving your front foot, and then the basic one, you're keeping your heel back and moving your foot into Zenko Tadachi. So ready, practice. Hey. And back. Hey. And back. San. Chin. Hop. Hop. Chin. Hop. Hop. Jaw. And relax. Now we'll start to put the combination together a little bit. So from here, left leg in front. Still keeping it pretty basic, and we're not moving around too much yet. Okay, we'll change that in a few minutes, but for now, keep it fairly stationary. So from here, Sotuki, 1, remember that squeeze and release, 2, drive, drop and rotate. So, okay, and then from here again, Sotuki, 1, 2, 3. Sotuki, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now fast. So 1 count. Sotuki, MP, Gyakuzu. And I think on some of those I felt if I was coming with my shoulder first. Okay? So I want to get the feeling of coming from underneath here. Okay, from your hip First, this way. Boom, boom. Okay, 1 or 2, I felt as if I was coming from here, and then my hip was coming second. So I want to watch out for that for my own body timing and try to correct that now when I do more of it. Okay, so we'll do 5 on this side. From Senko. Okay, each time we'll prepare from the basic kamae. So ready? Hey! And back. Hey! Stop! Shake! Oh! And change. Up to the side, we do 3 sets slowly, then we do 5 sets fast. So slowly on the count. 1, 2, now squeeze and open, then rotate, 3. 1, 2, 3. And again, 1, release, squeeze and open, and drive. 3. Okay, now we do that side, we'll do it fast. One count, Sotuki, MP, Kyakuzuki. Hanmi, Kibidachi, shoulder. Hey! Hey! Stop! Shake! Oh! And relax. Okay, and then it's the connection between the techniques is important. The squeezing and the expansion, the breathing and the relaxation. That'll help you connect the techniques together so that you can start to put combinations in flow. Okay, one more change, okay, one small addition. So from here, you're Sotuki now, not on the spot, I'm just going to move a little bit. So from here, you're going to move back, boom, and then 2 and 3, okay? But I don't want to go back this way, so my body is coming away. My stance is moving back, but my body, my stance is still moving forward. So my legs, my stance is shifting my body backwards, but I still have to be able to go this way. Okay? So I'm not, and then back, but immediately I'm ready to transfer my weight forward. Okay? So that's really important. It's not back and then in. It's just back, and then immediately your body is in a position to release forward. So let's try it that way. Okay? So 5 more, but now when you're going back, Yoriyashi, slide into the Sotuki, and then release into the Kibarachi, and then rotate into the Gyakuzuki. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Hey. 3. 4. 5. And change, opposite leg. Again, that little slide back, but immediately you're able to transfer your weight forward again, and then forward. Hey. Hey. Remember breathing out. So at the end it shouldn't be, you should be breathing out as you're doing the technique. Stop. Oh. Hey. Breathing out. If you're not sure, kiai, and that'll automatically blow the air out for you. Good, and relax. Okay, so next I want to start doing some kicks, and then we'll kind of piece it together in a few moments. We'll be working on the stance and the techniques with the kicks. But first to focus on the kicking techniques. So just sit down, just to do a little bit of a stretch first. So yeah, hopefully you can see. So put your right leg out, tuck your left leg back, okay, and rotate your outstretched leg, this is my right leg, okay, into like a yokogiri position. Okay, so imagine you're doing like a flying side kick, okay, yokotogiri, that kind of position. This one tucked in, and that into a yokogiri position. So from here, just rotate your hip back and in, nice and relaxed. And 2, and in, and 3, and in, 4, and 5, and in, 6, and in, 7, and in, 8, and in, 9, and in, and 10, and in. So try to get the rotation from your hip. Don't try to get a rotation from your ankle, okay, or your knee or something. Make sure the rotation is coming from here, so my leg stays in more or less the same position. Again, the rotation is coming from my hip. So then from there, okay, keep that rotation in, so your foot is horizontal. Next, just lift your foot, okay, keep it there. I want you to pulse it 10 times, but don't lean back, okay, so don't get your support on the floor or on your leg. What you want to do is support everything from your core, okay, your core, your hips, okay, your glutes. So everything here is supporting your leg as you lift it, and then just up and down a few centimeters 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're keeping your body in position. Now bring my foot back to the center. From here, expand it again back to that yokogiri position. 1, and back to the center. 2, and back to the center. So I'm not using my hands for support. I'm using my core, my glutes, okay, all around my hips to control it. So 3, out, and I'm finishing in that yokogiri position, and then back. 4, and back. 5, and back. 6, and back. 7, and back. 8, and back. So I'm not rushing it. 9, and back. 1 more. 10, and back. And relax. Please relax out your hips. And then opposite side. Okay, so my left side. So again, just starting off first of all, mobilizing your hip. Okay, so in and back. So stretching isn't just about being able to reach a position and stretch, it's about being able to reach that position and still being able to move. So being able to put your leg out and not be stiff, being able to put your leg out and still be able to manipulate your hip so that you can put it exactly where you need it and get power behind it. Okay, so it's into position, okay, and then rotating. So 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back, 4 and back. Again, the rotation is coming from my hip, okay, not from my ankle or my knee. 5 and back, 6 and back, 7 and back, 8 and back, 9 and back, and 10 and back. Okay, and then rotate it in. Keep that yokogiri position. Okay, and then from there, control it from here, your core, and lift, and 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not this, okay, from here. Now, back to the center, and expand. 1, and back. 2, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. 5, and back. 6, and back. 7, and back. 8, and back. 9, and back. 1 more. 10, and back. And again, relax. Just relax your hips. Okay, good. And up. So next, I'm going to need a little prop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a belt. So if you want to take off your own belt, okay, I brought a spare belt or a strap or anything like that, but basically just something that you can support your own foot with. Okay, so again I'm going to practice yoke again, okay, side kick. I'll do my left leg first. My left leg here. What I'm going to do is use this to support into position. Here. And then I'm going to just pull my knee back a little bit and extend in. And as I extend in, as I pull back, I pull my knee back, my hip back, and then as I extend, again, I'm pushing through my knee, but I also rotate just a little bit my hip. Boom, that way. So it's really here, I'm squeezing in, and then rotating and extending. Squeezing in, pushing, and back. Back, and back. Okay? And I want to try to keep my balance on my supporting leg, keep that a little bit soft, a little bit bent. So if I lose my balance, or I find myself losing my balance, that's okay. So if I lose my balance, I want to make sure that I regain it by dropping my weight. So I don't regain it by coming up here, I regain it by dropping my weight, bending my supporting leg. And if I'm starting to go away, I don't keep going that way. That's why I want this. I want to pull my weight into the technique. So if you kick and you make contact with something, for a moment your balance is going to be challenged. So you don't want to hit and bounce away. Okay, you want to hit and at that moment of impact, drop down for extra stability and keep driving in that direction. Okay, at that moment of instability, at that moment where your balance is challenged. Yeah, so try that. Okay, I'm going to try my left leg first. So we're going to do about 20. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Just try to get your balance back through dropping your supporting leg and leaning into the technique. Okay? But if you need to grab onto something or whatever, that's okay too. So let's go. Back. And out. So nice and slow, nice and controlled. So 1 and back. 2 and back. 3 and back. 4 and back. Go and back. Rock and back. Teach and back. Touch and back. Coup and back. Ju and back. 10 more. We can do it. 8 and back. Knee and back. Wait. San and back. Chi and back. Go and back. Rock and back. Teach and back. Touch and back. Coup and back. Ju and back. How was that? Okay, just relax. Shake your legs out. Guess what we'll be doing? The opposite side next. Okay? So just relax, twist your hips. So hopefully you get the idea and the feeling for what you're looking for. Getting your balance, your stability on that supporting leg. And then being able to, even though your leg is outstretched, still being able to just use your hip a little bit at the end. If you think about any technique, the technique really only starts when you make contact. So you can set up your punch or your kick, everything else is just setting it up. The technique is only challenged, it only becomes real at that moment of contact. And that's when you need your stability, your drive and everything going into it. So that's why I'm looking at just the last maybe 5-10% of the technique. Everything else is getting in position, but it's that last 5-10, that's when you're touching and penetrating. That's when the technique becomes real. Everything else is preparation, angling, positioning, distancing, delivering, and then when you touch, boom, that's when you need to be able to apply power. So that's what we're doing now. We're just looking at that last little piece and making sure we can apply power at that last instance. So, right leg. I did my left leg first because it's a little bit more flexible. My right hip is a little bit more stiff, so I wanted to give this one a chance. Okay, the same idea. So lifting it up, okay, extending it out, wow, and then pulling it back. Again, thinking of that last 5%, just as you're making contact, and you really got to drive into the target. 1 and back, 2 and back, 3 and back, 4 and back. Just a little bit of rotation through the hip. 5 and back, 6 and back, 7 and back. Trying to keep my supporting leg there. 8 and back, 9, and back. 10, and back. 10 more, keep going. 8, and back. 9, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. Go, and back. Go, and back. 6, and back. Hot, back. Cool, and back. 2, and back. And relax. Okay. And the moment where you feel your balance going, that's your weak point. So it's your body telling you that's your weak point. So that's where you need to practice. So when you feel your balance going and the technique getting weaker, don't try to skip over that. That's your body telling you, this is where you need to practice. Okay, this is the point that you really need to improve. So make sure don't skip over those points where you feel a little bit of imbalance. That's really where you need to improve. Okay, so next, same idea. Same idea but from a washigari. So for yokogari, okay, the moment of impact, the last 5%, okay, you were driving in with your hip, this way. Okay, driving in with your hip. So mawashigari is different, you're coming around. So I'll do this one more straight on so you can see the angle. So again, start off with your left leg, or this is my left leg. So I'm going to bring it up to the side. So I'm imagining my mawashigari has come around. And it's just the last little piece of extension. Okay, the last 5%, 10%. So my knee is a little bit back from center, my foot is a little bit back. So the last part, my knee is going to be going to the center line as I extend my foot. Don't let your foot go too far. So two things. First, don't let your foot go all the way over there, so it's not too far. Okay? And also try to angle your foot ever so slightly down. So it's not this, where it's kicking up. Okay, imagine it's kicking up, but at the last moment, boom, you're turning it down. See, my knee stays this center line, boom, okay, it doesn't go over here. Once my knee stays there, I can take this back, and now I can continue with my punch. If my knee goes past my center line, my knee goes to here, now that punch becomes really difficult, it's lost. So I want to be able to rotate my hip in, control my knee position with my hip. So my knee position is here, and then I take my hip back, and that opens up the punch going forward. Okay, so let's give that a go. Hey, hello from Chile, Ecuador. Great to see people from everywhere. Okay, so mawashigari. The last part of the mawashigari. Left leg. Again, we'll try for 20, see what happens. Go 1, and then just back. 2, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. 5, and back. I'm trying to turn my toes ever so slightly by a millimeter down. 5, and back. 6, and back. 7, and back. 8, and back. 9, and back. 10, and back. 10 more, last time we can do it. 8, and back. 9, and back. 3, and back. Balance, drop my leg. 4, and back. Go, and back. Go, and back. 6, and back. Up, and back. Go, and back. 2, and back. Wow. Nearly lost it a couple of times, but I focused on my supporting leg and that helped me get my balance back. Okay, just relax. And the other thing, watch out for your backside. Try not to let your backside stick back. So it's not this position. And from here. See where my body is in a V. I'm trying to keep this tucked in. So my body is in a straight line. So my backside, my hips are tucked forward. Okay, my body is behind my kick. So it's not this way, this position. It's this position. Okay, so nearly done. Right leg. Okay, last set. Again, we go for 20. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Everything coming from the hip. Okay, so the knee, the foot is controlled from the hip. And ready. 1, keep this back side tucked in. 2, and back. San, and back. Shi, and back. Go, and back. Rock, and back. Teach, and back. Pat, and back. Coup, and back. Ju, and back. 10 more. 1, and back. 2, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. 5, and back. 6, and back. 7, and back. 8, and back. 9, and back. 10, and back. Yeah. And relax your hips. Good, good, good. So again, if you hold your breath, it becomes almost impossible. You have to breathe through the technique. It's easy for me to breathe because I was counting. So because I was counting, I had to breathe. So it helped me to breathe. One thing that we used to do, some of the training that we did, when we were doing longer combinations, and there was a tendency to hold your breath and go. We used to call out the combinations as we were training. And once you were calling it out, you had to be breathing. So you had to call out Kazamazuki, Gyakuzuki, change legs, step back, get them right where it came. You had to speak your way through the technique. And because you were speaking, you were breathing. So you got to the end, you weren't so tired because your body was breathing with the technique. Okay, so that's important. As you're doing the technique, keep breathing, keep it relaxed. Okay, good. You can might use the belt again in a moment, so keep it to hand. Okay, so next, just to relax your hips, just Mawashigari Gyakuzuki. Very relaxed, no power, just to loosen out those hips to get everything moving again. Okay, so right leg in front. So we're just going to kick, Mawashigari Gyakuzuki, and then just shuffle back with the opposite leg. And knee, and back, shuffle back. San, and back. Shi, and back. Go. Do 5 more. Just nice and relaxed. 1, 2, and back. 3, and back. 4, and back. Go. And relax. Okay. So then, one other kick. So we've done the hip movement for Mawashigari, for Yokogari, and we've done the how to connect two techniques together through breathing, expansion, contraction, and so on. So I just want to do one more with the belt. And this is kicking off the front leg. So I want to practice Yokogari off my front leg. So, kicking off the front leg, a lot of people do something like this, where they go straight to the target. Okay, so they try to kick, they see the target, they think of their foot to the target as quickly as possible, and they go something like that. It's very difficult then to generate power, because you haven't engaged your hips. So what you need to do, when you're kicking off your front leg, is pull your foot back a little bit to engage your hips. Okay, so you do this all the time in kata. Okay, if you're doing a Yokogari, you don't just kick Yokogari, you come back into this position, bring it back, engage the hips, and then kick. So the same idea here for kumite feeling, you don't just want to go here. Also, to somebody close to you, you're going to kick their knee, okay, or their elbow or something if you just do that. You want to get past their knee, okay, by pulling this back and then going into the kick. So just to help with that initial pullback, I'm going to use my belt again. So I want the first movement not to be forward with my foot. The first movement has to be back with my foot. That gives me the squeeze, and then I expand. So again, that squeeze, expand, like we were doing with upper body. Squeeze, expand. So that squeeze is my foot coming back, and then I extend out. Okay. So Yokogari, okay, you can call me off my front leg, but my front leg comes back, and then out. Okay. So this is the pull back. We just do 5. Knee, come back. San, come back. Chi. Go, and back, and change. Again, just get that feeling, or if you want to relate it to Teki, Namayashi, that feeling of bringing it back, bringing it back, bringing it back, and then going out. So that kind of feeling. Again, Kukomi off front leg. Hit. Oh, pulling it back. Knee. Stop. Shoot. One more. Pulling it back. Oh. Oh. And release. Now you can put your belt away. Okay. So, next, same idea. Okay, no belt this time, but the same feeling of pulling back from your front leg. Okay, and this time as soon as you finish, you pull back, you've extended out, you've got that feeling that you're from your hips that we've been practicing. Okay, and then from there, into gaps. Okay, so pull back, out, and then gaps. But remember the feeling we had earlier when we were doing a sotuki. It wasn't sotuki back, and then the sotuki was just back enough, okay, so that you can continue forward. So that same feeling. Okay, when you pull back, it's not, and now everything's gone that way and you can't punch. Okay, it's back here, but you must be able to punch straight away. So it's just back enough, kick, and then forward into your gaps. Okay, so that feeling of pulling away, but everything doesn't go in that direction. It's pulling away onto this kick. The kick is extended, it comes back, and that automatically triggers your forward momentum. Okay, so Yokogiri Kukomi, Yakusuki. Argentina. Hola, Argentina. Okay, so let's try that. Yokogiri Kukomi into Yakusuki. Okay. Ready? Ready? Five more. So this is really good defensively. Okay, somebody is pressuring you. Okay, you want to push them back. So something like this, somebody is pressuring you, to be able to just go and drive them back is really good. Okay, and then be able to follow up with Yakusuki. It's not just enough to knock them back, you want to be able to knock them back and then Yakusuki. But this is good from a kumite perspective. A good way of turning pressure and defense into offense and setting up, creating distance for your technique. So 5 more on this side, yeah? Yep. B. Some. Shake. Oh. And change. Again, so you're thinking of somebody's crowding you, Okay, you have to create space for your technique. Okay? Not enough room to do a back leg kick. Okay, because he'll cut inside. So you want to use your front leg, but if you don't lift your knee, you're going to clash with his shin. So you must lift this to get in, and then you get. So you're trying to create distance for a counter attack. So opposite leg, so I'm going on right leg in front. Hit. Knee. Some. Hit. Hop. Hop. Hit. Hop. Hoop. Do. Okay. And now I'm going to try the same from the washigiri. Okay, so depending on somebody's body position, again, Kukomi is good at pushing somebody away. But if they're very closed off to the front, okay, you mightn't have that angle for Yokogiri, so maybe you need a Mawashigiri. So if they're pushing you a little bit more this way, difficult to get a Kukomi. But there's a Mawashigiri there. Okay, somebody's like this more, difficult to get the Mawashigiri, but there's a Kukomi just under the guard. Okay, so now we'll try for that Mawashigiri. So left leg in front, I'll do this one straight on. So you don't have a huge angle, so it's not like a Kihon Mawashigiri where you're coming and you have this big angle all the way around. It's a small angle from here up, but that's what we were practicing. We were practicing that last 5–10% of the technique. Okay, that's what you're using now. Okay, so again, practicing that last bit is when you don't have the luxury of a big, basic, extended technique. You have to do it within a small, confined area. Somebody's pressuring you. It's not much room. So let's try that. Mawashigiri, Yakusuki. Hit. 2. Ah. Okay. And now we'll try the opposite leg. So again, for these ones, if somebody's pressuring you, there's not much space. So you have to really use the space that you have in terms of every little bit of rotation that you have, every little bit of drop that you have to generate power. Okay, so you're using everything to generate power in that short space because you don't have this big long arm to generate power. This distance, you have to be able to generate power in a tight space. So opposite side. So for me, my right hip is a little bit stiffer. My left elbow is a little bit stiffer, so I much prefer the other side. But for balance, yeah, we're going to do both. So moashigari, gyakuzi. Sami moashigari into gyakuzi. Hip. Hey. San. Hey. Up. Up. Chichi. Hop. Hoop. Two. And relax. About 10 more minutes. Yeah, we can do this. 10 more minutes. Take a drink, have a quick break. Guatemala, Colombia. Hello everybody. Apologies that I'm doing this for the people in Guatemala, Colombia, everywhere in Central America, Latin America. Sorry doing this in English. Apologies, but hopefully we all speak the language of karate, we all understand the movement, we all understand what we're doing. So hopefully we can still communicate through karate. Okay. So next, putting that kicking front leg kicking together with the basic combination we were doing in the beginning. Okay, so from here, moving back. Okay. So we were going into kibidachi. Okay, so from here, there was movement of here. This movement was delivering our kibidachi. This kibidachi now becomes the kick, the yokogari. And then from this kibidachi, we were going into gyakuzi. So we're going from this position into here. But if you think about kibidachi, it's like a kick and moashi there. So if you think of kibidachi, it's here, boom. It's really same. Okay, it's a kick. I'm using my hips. Okay, except one foot is on the ground, one foot is on the target, or both feet are on the ground. But the same idea. Okay, same idea. So it shouldn't matter too much whether you're going from here into your kibidachi into gyakuzuki, or from here into a kick into your gyakuzuki. Okay, so let's try that. So we'll do 6. Okay, we're going to do kikomi, boom, and then moashi, boom. Kikomi, boom, moashi, boom. Okay, so let's try that. So from here, we're going to start. We're going to move back, sotuki, kikomi, gyakuzuki. Then the second one is going to be moving back, sotuki, then moashi, gyakuzuki. Okay, so first one, kikomi, second one, moashi. One count, you slide into sotuki like the beginning, then kick, and then continue with gyakuzuki. Okay, so 6. Keep it the basic, okay, keep it from here. Okay, so maybe imagine your kumite, right? Okay, just kind of feeling. Oh, okay, so here, we're going to start from this position. Hit. I'm back. Next, sotuki, moashi. Knee. 3. 4. Oh. Moashi, last one. Drop. And change. Okay, so again, So lots of things to work on, the connection between the techniques, the squeezing, the expansion, the breathing, the relaxation, getting the power from your foot, your hip, getting the timing from your hip and your punch. So there's lots to work on in there. Okay, lots of opportunities to create power, lots of opportunities to create speed, and lots of opportunities to lose balance as well. Okay, so let's focus on all of those chances we have to generate a lot of power in a short space. Okay, so again, so from here, again, starting off in a fairly basic position, but you're thinking of kumite, this kind of feeling, okay? And now we're just making it a little bit more basic. So again, kikomi first, then mawashi, okay? 6 times. Yeah. Mawashi, ni. Kikomi. 3. Mawashi, 4. 5. Last one, mawashi. 6. And rocks. Okay. So, one problem when people practice kicks from a basic stance, especially off the front leg, there's a tendency to lift, to rise into the kick. Okay, so even if you're doing it migrating from a low stance, there's a tendency to come up a little bit. And for kicking, you want to get the opposite, you want to drop. So when you're kicking, you want to get a feeling of dropping onto your supporting leg. Okay, so not coming up and trying to kick, you want to get the feeling of dropping. So for the next idea, we're going to start up. Start a little bit higher. Okay, so now it's easy to drop. Okay, so when you're low, dropping forward is really hard. Okay, up, getting the drop now, that's easy. So what we're going to do is, again, imagine there's somebody pressuring you from the front. Okay, so you don't have much room to play with. What I'm going to do is drop. Okay, drop. So I'm dropping now into my kibadashi position. Okay, so I'm dropping this one back. 1, dropping, and then kick. Okay, so again, the feeling is just from here, dropping, again, somebody's pressuring you, you have to create space. So maybe if I kick straight off this leg, there's not enough room, I have to create space. So I create that space, just that little drop, a little drop creates the space, I've dropped, and now I can continue, and I can drive. And I can drive because my weight is down. You kick this way, you're up, you can't continue driving. If you kick with your weight is here, you kick, and the drive from there is much easier. Okay, so your choice, mawashi ga yakukomi. Okay, so we'll do 5 each side. For your choice of mawashi ga yakukomi. So you imagine your opponent, there's a gap here, you're going straight into the komi. He's closed, okay, he's coming in, so he's giving you an opening into the side. So you imagine, you visualize the opponent and the opening, and you do the kick. Komi or mawashi. So from here, a little bit up, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more freestyle. You start, you drop this back, create space, and then finish your gaps. Okay, so ready, 5. Hit. And look, each time relax, a little bit up. But drop to begin. The first movement has to be a drop. Then knee. That's on. She. Go. Okay, and remember at the start, we were going from here, moving back, but it wasn't back, and then it was back just enough so that we could continue it. So try to get the same feeling for your kick when you're dropping back. It's not back, kick, and then forward. It's back just enough so that you can kick and then go. So 5 more, opposite leg. Again, your choice, kokomi or mawashi ga. We'll start nice and relaxed, and dropping back, gives you the distance for the kick, gives you the stability, and then the drive continue in the combination. Okay, let's go. Yeah. Ready. There you go. Okay. Nearly there. Okay, last 5 each side. take a drink, have a breath. So it's 7 p.m. in the evening here, so it's nice and cool. Okay, 7 p.m. here, it's nice and cool. Where you are, if it's warmer, take as much fluid as you need. Yeah, keep hydrated. So left leg in front. Same. Okay, I'm just going to do it facing this way. Your choice. Again, Moashiga Yokokomi. Starting off nice and relaxed. Drop back. Give yourself that distance, that stability, and front leg. Boom, and then continue with your punch. Okay. So left leg in front. 5. Hey, hand the count. Hey. Hey. Ah. Hey. Oh. And change. Opposite leg in front again. Keep it nice and relaxed. Start with a drop, a little fade back. Draw him in. He's drawing him in. As he's coming in, boom, that's when you hit him. So you don't want to try to hit him when he's going away, especially Kokomi. So if somebody's moving away, you hit them with Kokomi, it doesn't do much. But Kokomi is great when people are coming in. You stick it out and you impale them on it. Okay, so that's why you're fading back to draw them in a little bit more. Again, your choice, Moashi or Kokomi. Hey. 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 Oh. Now relax. Okay. Cool. And relax. So that's just about an hour. So if you wanted to take this further with a partner, it would be great. You could have somebody coming towards you. The drill that we do sometimes with a kick shield is one person just walks forward with the shield, the other person fades back, and then boom, they have to kick in. So they're doing their kick while they're defending. So they're moving back as somebody's coming forward with the target, and then when you're ready, you just drop back, boom, and you release the kick forward. Okay, so that's a little drill that we do. And then if you want to take it into kata, of course, from the Kokomi, front leg Kokomi feeling, you've got your Ninja Shiho, which is great for that, or any kata with Kyagi. So Kyagi is like a cross between a Moashi and a Kokomi anyway. So any of those techniques where you're coming into here and then releasing the kick, coming in, squeezing and releasing the kick. So if you wanted to take it into kata, there's loads of opportunities, loads of chances. So that's it. Hopefully you got some ideas, or hopefully there's one or two little techniques or drills or ideas in there that will stimulate you, that you can take into your own training, that you can try out and play around with, see what works, what doesn't work. If one person got one thing out of the session, okay, I'm happy, my job here is done. I had a great time doing it. I'm a little bit hot and sweaty now. And again, thanks to Irland Sensei for the opportunity. It was fantastic. So thank you very much, and hey, who knows, maybe we'll see each other in real life sometime. Bye bye.